Good morning. My name is Shanera Billups, or Professor Billups, depending upon how you know me. I'm a National Certified Counselor and a Licensed Professional Counselor. I have my own business called Mental Growth and Internal Healing LLC, in which I manage counseling services, individual, group counseling, couples counseling. I am eclectic as far as my approach in terms of managing wellness with individuals. So from youth, I call them the little itty bitties, the little tears, whatever you guys like to call them. I love children, obsessed with them. And that's because of their wonderful way of being so brutally honest. I enjoy it because there's no getting past them. They just say what it is, and that's their worldview before it's too well tainted. So I love it. But in any case, I am a professor here in the psychology department, adjunct professor more specifically, and I just enjoy what I do. So as far as today, the neuroscience behind self-care. The neuroscience behind self-care. How many of you are familiar with the field of neuroscience? Anyone? And be honest, if you're not, then it's okay. You know, just whatever. How many of you are not familiar with it? How many of you have heard of it? Okay, great. So this leaves a good grounds for discussing. I like to understand my audience because it allows me to, all right, by definition, any or all of the sciences, such as neurochemistry and experimental psychology, which deal with the structure or function of the nervous system and brain. So, to kind of break it down, it's basically a cross topic that allows us to discover those wonderful connections between brain and behavior, with the hope of answering some of the whys of our functioning. Interestingly enough, the psychology department here recently has opened a new pathway of learning in terms of dealing with neurosciences. When I was sitting in the, not literally, but sitting in the chairs of you all, this wasn't so. I found it that I wanted to get into neuroscience, but it wasn't made available. So I had to kind of find my way through because of experience and being open for understanding resources and making sure I stayed connected. I was able to kind of sort of get there. Long road, but when this happened on just recently, I was just so elated because this is an opportunity to gain more understanding of how our behavior is impacted by what is going on as far as the inside. What is it that we are truly internalizing that causes us to have this external type of reaction or response? So, some interesting things when it comes down to neuroscience. Did you know that? The brain actually needs to forget to function properly. Now, at first this looks like maybe, okay, I need to forget to work well. Think about it in this way. You get a little visual with me for a second. You got a cup, you got some water, and you're pouring water into the cup, right? Pouring. And at some point, this cup has what? A limit, right? Unless it's bottomless. It's not bottomless. Realistically, there's going to be a cap. And at that cap, what happens to the water? Once it reaches that limit, but someone keeps on pouring, what happens? It overflows. And so let's say that the same cup and water exists, all right? Same thing of pouring it out. But the individual who's pouring the water realizes that, all right, this cup is getting kind of full. So let me create just a little bit of a leaking system to empty out, and it's going to empty out into some kind of reservoir where it's holding the extra water, and so that the new water that's being poured in can have a space, but the other water is still standing put. Almost like recycling it. And then that way, when it's time to switch it out, it can, because that water has been on standby and it could just be switched out. So that's what it kind of works as when talking about the brain needs to forget to function properly.